Good evening, Toastmasters. Picture, if you would, a little girl running down the street as fast as she could go with not a parent in sight. That little girl would have been me. I had busted out of the cone zone at age 3. Now, I wasn't running away from my parents, and I wasn't running away from home. In my mind, I was running to something. I was running toward adventure. For several Sundays in a row, I would climb out the front window while my parents were asleep early in the morning and shoot down the block to go exploring really quickly. Came back and I climbed back into the window and they'd never know. But the fourth Sunday I did this, I couldn't climb back into the window for some reason. So I knocked on the front door. And boy, was my dad surprised to see me. And that ended my career as an explorer at that time. As I grew older, I did find safer ways to explore. I enjoyed finger painting and feeling the goopy paint between my fingers. And then they gave me paintbrushes, and I loved that. I'd visualize something and I'd go for it. I'd paint these big paintings, edge to edge, on the table, made a big mess. It was great, and I still do that. In junior high school, I discovered I had a love for reading and writing and fantasy. And at that time, my role model was Emma Peel of The Avengers. Does anyone here remember that show or know that show? It was about 2 secret agents. And Emma Peel was not afraid to go out there and discover things, get into trouble, and find resolutions. However, after graduating from college with a master's in industrial arts, for some reason, my doors of discovery closed. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because I felt I was an adult and I really shouldn't be doing things that were considered childish or perhaps a little too strange. So for a number of years, for many years, I somehow ended up in a job that was very routine, very detail-oriented, and just not fun. But in the year 2002, my life turned upside down. And I'm not going to go into it here. That's another subject for another speech. But suffice to say that the doors of discovery opened once that chapter had ended, and I was off and running. And one of the things that I discovered was a hobby called geocaching. Are there any geocachers in here by chance? Well, what geocaching is searching for treasure with a GPS. And I found that by going to the geocaching site and putting in my zip code, I could find that there were treasures all around me. In fact, here in Foster City, there's a lot of them. I found that I enjoyed hiding them better than finding them. And so I've designed a series of caches, one of them in Mission Peak in Fremont, designed around some sort of activity. The one in Fremont, you have to pretend that you are Inca Jones, and you go around finding these caches, and you look at artifacts and you collect clues for the final cache that contains the gold. So I've been thinking, why have I always had this calling to bust out of the cone zone? And what good does it do anybody, really? Well, I think that if I can foster curiosity in people, I will feel like I'm living my life's purpose. For to foster curiosity is to foster learning. And I feel that if I can break you out of your conventions and your routine, that you will develop a playful mindset, that's for sure, but you will bring this mindset into your day-to-day life. Curiosity is something I try to encourage my instructors to instill in their students at Golden Gate University, where I work. I've mentioned before that I am an instructional designer, and I help them get their courses online. My goal is to guide them to foster curiosity in their students, for curiosity leads to discovery, which leads to learning. And if the students can develop that mindset to last a lifetime, what a gift it would be to them. If I could share any of my attributes with all of you, it would be my love of discovery. So I hope you will join me in busting out of the cone zone at least once in a while. Wonderful treasures await you.